Hey everybody, it's Aaron here with Robert, and this is Get Your Geek on Talkin Geek, where we talk geeky topics from this past week that we both love.
Yeah, something like that. we talk geeky news.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That we're interested in. Sometimes we love it. Sometimes we don't. I think this week it's all positive.
It is
stuff.
positive.
Last week we had some rough topics to talk about, but I think today we got some exciting things to talk about. So
I think so.
I am always happy to discuss exciting news topics.
Even video games, because that's all mine are.
I mean, I don't have much to contribute, but I'm always interested.
Oh, he's interested. Let's start with the Halo.
Correct.
Then.
Sure.
Let's start with Halo. This is we knock it out.
My absolute favorite video game franchise of all time, Master Chief. He's just my boy.
All right.
The USMC or what? No.
USNC.
NC. That's what I said.
United Nations Space Command. UNSC.
UNSC. Yeah, that's what I said. I wasn't talking about the United States.
What? Go. What you got?
Marine Corps.
Oh, okay.
That's not who I was talking about. The UNSC.
Yeah, United Nations Space Command.
Of course, yeah.
You know,
with
and Cortana. Don't forget Cortana's there.
No, I mean, yeah. That's like the AI.
Yeah. The AI that he loves, who's like a girlfriend, and
right.
You got the grunts who run around screaming.
Hey, are you impressed that I knew Cortana was the AI at least?
No, because that's pretty common. I think everybody knows that one.
Well, yeah, apparently, because I knew it. I know nothing about Halo.
Do you know what number he is?
No, I have no clue.
Okay. If you got that, I would have been a little more impressed.
No clue. Not
117.
Sure.
That's his number.
You could be lying to me and I would never know.
So, he's not wrong. First of all, guys, just quick news.
If you love Master Chief, listen in!
You should. Or don't, because I might say a spoiler.
Oh, don't spoil it.
I'm going to spoil it.
Don't spoil something that's already come out.
For 20 years now, right? So, basically, Halo Infinite comes out sometime this year. We know it's either going to be November or December.
Or they're lying to you.
Or they're lying to us as normal. I mean, Halo 2...
But you figure they want it to drop before Christmas.
Exactly.
That's usually the strategy.
And I think it was Halo 2, I want to say, was a big reveal.
Halo to what?
Halo 2? Oh my gosh. I hate you so much. I hate him.
That's all right.
So, Halo 2, the number 2.
Oh, with the number 2.
As in the second game.
Yes, I see.
When it came out was November 9th, and the whole joke was one of the main guys...
Why do you know a specific date that Halo game... That's pathetic, by the way.
Because
all right,
one of the reveals, the guy had it tattooed on his arm November 9th. Okay. Was the joke. Anyway, it was a funny reveal at E3. So leave me alone.
Sure it was.
I was happy. I was also in college and not caring about much. Yeah. So anyway, so Halo 2 came out, Halo 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. So now we're at Halo Infinite, the third game by 343 Industries, who's picked up where Bungie left off on Halo 3, Halo Reach. So now they're releasing the tech beta. This is very basic stuff. Like, this is just a tech, test the servers, test the bots, test some of the maps they have. And again, we don't know when this is coming out. So they still have at least, 3-4 months till November, December?
Yep.
So this tech beta lets you play as a Spartan, and it was all multiplayer against bots. Bots are just AI components that run around and try to shoot you.
Sure.
So they were tested at the different levels, like basically easy, normal, hard, very hard. And then they let people just fight against each other. So it was like, cool. Then it was a 4v4 match. And again, we got to play that for very, very small amount of time. That wasn't even supposed to happen on the beta. But last minute, they were like, here's a small taste of what they call Slayer matches.
Cool.
So it's really cool. It's been really fun. They did hit 150 frames per second. I'm assuming that's 1080p. But they did hit 4K at 60 frames per second, which is really good for video games. Just high quality. Then rumors were starting because data miners started digging around in the coding and looking around for stuff. I'm going to stop right here and say there might be some spoilers I'm going to say. So if you don't want to hear them, stop for like the next 30 seconds or so.
So data miners as in like young children, those kind of miners?
Yeah, they go in the coal mines and they start hitting the pickaxe.
Minors or miners?
Miners.
Okay,
miners.
I got you.
I don't know why they were kids, but they were small little crevices we had to shove them in, so that might be why.
Now it sounds like we're talking about Snowpiercer. Spoiler alert for that movie.
True. But data miners, basically what they do is they try to dig through all the coding and they try to find like little things that people won't find, like, ooh, this code means that this is happening or this is going on. Right. And these guys found coding for the campaign for Halo Infinite, which none of us know it yet, like what's going on. So spoiler real quick for this bleep, I'll even say, I'm going to bleep, and the Banished from Halo 2 are coming out, unbleep. So if you don't want to hear it, you don't have to hear it, like that little spot right there, you don't have to hear that. I don't know, hopefully you're back, I don't know. So we supposedly know who the enemy is for Halo Infinite. There was also rumors, which isn't like a big spoiler to me, but Battle Royale is coming out. Basically, that's like where a bunch of people just start fighting each other, either 1v1 or teams of 2, 3, or 4, like Fortnite. People say they don't want that, but supposedly these data miners found the coding for Battle Royale in it. So
you know what I say to those people that say they don't want that?
What's that?
You don't have to play that mode.
No, you don't. You can easily play like just a bunch of other modes. They're supposed to have Slayer, Deathmatch, all these other different things. Like it's one mode, and it's not the focus of the game. So just deal with that little part and don't ever play it.
Exactly.
So I'm excited, especially if the rumor is true of who the villain is for the game. So I don't know. Hopefully you gotta check out the tech beta. If you want to sign up for more betas, because they are gonna do some more, go to Halo Waypoint and sign up for the Insider program.
Wow.
Because that's what I did, and I was there day one, and I was happy.
I mean, I definitely got in on that.
Oh yeah.
Doing my my blasting.
Oh yeah, what was your favorite gun?
The X23 7L4.
L4.
Have you used that one?
They all begin with an M, so I'm interested in where this is coming from.
No, it's the X27. I think that's a different number than I said.
I think so. It's
5 seconds ago.
Was it X23, you mean?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the
X23 Wolverine.
It had blades coming out of it. Just like...
Made of adamantium?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you're going with me on this. Oh, we're clearly on the same page. It was actually a gun that fired adamantium blades. So.
You know what the sad thing is? Here's the sad thing to what he's saying. If you played the beta, there's a gun called the Spiker, which literally just launches a big piece of metal like a spear.
I mean, that's the one I was talking about. I just renamed it the X23.
For the X23 from the Spiker. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a sad thing. It looks like a big cannon. It literally it's like this big spear thing.
So what you're telling me is that I did play the game.
No. I'm telling you, if you were, I probably killed you 23 times.
Well, that's true. The X is because X marks the spot where I died, and 23 meaning
how many times I killed you.
Alright, we're having fun. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else that came out. Actually, I don't remember exactly like when. It feels like this came out right after we recorded our last episode, so...
yeah.
But it is that there is a second Superman project in the works at HBO. We already knew that J.J. Abrams was producing a movie that Ta-Nehisi Coates was set to write, and he's been working on that script. And he's kind of like he's written for like a Black Panther run and a few other things. He's also written a few books and things like that. Pretty famous writer. And that one is supposed to be about our normal Kal-El Clark Kent Superman, but I think that they're at least at this point they were planning on having that be a black character, and there was a lot of rumors that Michael B. Jordan might actually be cast as Superman in that project, but that was kind of debunked, if you will, because Michael B. Jordan is actually producing a second Superman project, but this one is going to be on HBO Max, and supposedly it's supposed to be a limited series, not necessarily a movie. And it's going to be centering around the character of Val Zod, who is a Earth 2 Superman, who is black. So it's not necessarily, they're not taking a character who's traditionally been white and making him black, they're taking a black character, black Superman, and telling that story. Now, no confirmation yet of whether or not Michael B. Jordan is going to play Superman. I would love for him to, of course, if you're unfamiliar with who he is, but you've seen Black Panther, he's Killmonger.
Small roles, very small.
Yeah, he was also Johnny Storm in that terrible
Don't
Fantastic
remind
Four
us
movie.
of that
He was really
film.
the only good part of that movie, is what I will say. I think he's a fantastic actor. I would love for him to play Superman. I'm not really familiar with the Val Zod character, but it kind of seems to have a pretty similar origin story to Kal-El.
So.
One of the last surviving, Kryptonians who then comes to Earth and is basically Superman here. But I'm actually I'm excited for both of these projects, but I think I'm more excited for this one just because I don't know that much about this character, and I'll be super excited if Michael B. Jordan does actually star in it as Superman. That sounds super exciting, and I like that. It's more of a limited series. Like we might see, maybe 5 or 6 hours of it instead of just a single movie.
Just watch Justice League. That's 6 hours long.
Yeah, but that's not good. So, I'm excited. I think that this could be a really cool project and definitely something. That I think. Again, I think it's cool that we're exploring some of these different versions of characters and things like that. I'll be excited for this project to come to life.
I would be excited. Again, I would honestly prefer Michael B. Jordan to do it as well because I think he got pretty bulky looking for Black Panther. Not that he's a small guy anyway.
and Creed.
So
he's buffed out.
He is in Creed. I forgot about that.
He's the main guy in Creed too. So.
Yeah, I think he would be a really good fit for that. Again, because he's already bulky. He's a good actor. I think can sell. Obviously, I know he can sell a villain. We've seen that perfectly, and he doesn't do bad as a hero. I think my concern would just be as how it's going to be written with the universe. Is it going to play into these other? The other Superman movie in the works, is it going to play into the Flash movie? Where is it going to go?
I don't think so. It feels like DC just kind of they're doing
whatever they want.
They tried the MCU approach,
and they said we suck
of tying everything together, and clearly they didn't have a lot of success with that. And I think what we can see with a lot of their projects now that are coming is that they're really they're like, you know what, we're just going to tell separate stories in each movie, and if some of them tie together, that's fine, that's great, but they don't have to, and we're not going to worry about that. And honestly, I think for DC, I think that's what they should do. Every time Warner Brothers has tried to, tie things together, it never works. So just tell a singular story. I
think if they can tell a singular story, that's fine. But I think if they take a step back and let these writers and directors try to merge together, and they need their Kevin. They need what Marvel has, Kevin Feige.
Well, they can't have him.
Well, they can't have him, but they need their own. Now maybe James Gunn could be that guy. Maybe it could be somebody else, but I think they do need someone to kind of be like, hey guys, I'm in charge. Let's all start connecting these dots and get things going, because you already have. I would like to see Robert Pattinson and him. That's
sure.
Earth 2 right there.
Yeah,
that would be a perfect movie to me. Get these guys together. I think. The more I've seen Robert Pattinson's stuff, I'm liking him as Batman. The idea of him as being Batman.
Oh,
finally.
gee, I wonder who said that 6 months ago.
I know, and I said now that I've
or
seen
a year
more.
ago, or however long it's been because of the stupid pandemic.
What was it? The Tenet sold me finally on him. I will say that. Not my fault. It took me forever to find a movie I liked him in.
I'm just saying, literally when it was announced, you kept making fun of it, and I was like, I'm telling you, he's gonna nail it. He's got.
There are a couple shots though that look weird in the preview. That's all I'll say.
It's supposed to be weird.
But it would be cool to see them tie those two guys together. If somehow this could be.
I feel like this is gonna be standalone since it's going to HBO Max. If it was gonna be playing in the same sandbox as Robert Pattinson's Batman, I feel like it would be a movie and not a series on HBO Max. But
who knows?
If it's super successful and everybody loves it, they'll make more. And it's literally all of these studios are in the business of making money. So if they make something popular and good that people like, guess what?
We make another.
They'll make more.
What was it? So it's his company doing it though. Outlier, right? Outlier
I think so. Outlier Society.
So it's it'll be cool. It'll be really nice to see if this going off the ground and becoming something more. I'd be happy with it.
I'm on board.
I am too. So I'm going to stick to gaming news, though.
Oh, back to gaming.
Robert's favorite subject.
Master Chief again?
No.
Oh, dang
Gosh.
it. My X-23 gun.
And died 23 times. Always killed by Vash the Stampede. Huh, that was weird. So, the game The Ascent has come out. And it's
It's going up?
Yeah, it's going straight up.
Alright.
That's where you go.
Cool.
It's a futuristic, like, cyberpunkish kind of feel to it. And basically, in the future, mega corporations rule the world, kind of thing.
Are you sure that's the future? I'm pretty sure that's just now.
It gets what we got is cyberpunk.
Doesn't
stuff.
Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, don't they just already run the world?
I mean, pretty true.
Okay.
But wait, we don't have cyberpunk stuff yet. Once it gets to cyberpunk, then it's the future.
I see.
So we got to get to that, like, cybernetic stuff and all that.
Okay. Yeah, because
So-
none of that exists right now.
Not yet. I don't have a lightsaber as an arm right
Just
now.
because you don't have it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
So they have the technology to exist everywhere in this game.
They have the technology. We can rebuild him.
The $6 million man? It's like only $20 now.
$6 billion man.
Right. So, on that note, we get sidetracked so easily, guys. I love it.
Well, I like to
But-
sidetrack you.
I get sidetracked easily. I do. I really do. So The Ascent, though, has come out, and like I said, cyberpunk game by Neon Giant. It's a small company. These 11 developers, they're a Swedish company, got together, decided to make their own company and start working on their own game after helping all the other companies they used to work for.
Yep.
The game's come out, and it looks fun. Hopefully I'll have a review by next week for that one. But Ascent came out on Xbox Game Pass, and then you could buy it if you don't have Game Pass for the $59.99.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's on Game Pass, this game is becoming a #1 seller. So the reason I wanted to bring it up, again, if you like cyberpunk stuff, check it out. Check our review out next week. I want to ask you, I want to lead into a question to mostly everybody and you. Do you think having like a Game Pass, which is what Xbox has, which is you pay $15 a month and you have access on your Xbox and PC to hundreds of video games on their library?
Yeah.
Do you think this is the way everything's going to go, like to some kind of like almost like a Netflix for video
it's
games?
a subscriber kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Or do you think physical copies will still be a thing, or even digital copies will still be a thing?
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those things that I don't know. I mean, we've seen things move this way in a lot of entertainment, with TV and movie content. And even like, there was with movie theaters, there were subscription passes.
Yes.
Like Movie Pass that came out. AMC has one that's still, like, they still do that. I think even Alamo Drafthouse was planning on launching one, and then the pandemic hit, so I don't know if they're still going to.
I don't know if they are, yeah.
With like that, a subscription where it's like you pay a monthly fee, and then these are the things you get with it.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the reason that these companies are doing that is because that's like reliable income.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to get that every month. You're going to get that person. So, that person that maybe doesn't buy, they buy 4 games a year, let's say. So they spend, 120...
340?
Yeah,
240.
240, $60, 4 times.
Yeah.
And if you pay, $15 a month, you're going to end up paying, instead of, $60 every 3 months, you're going to pay $45 every 3 months.
Yeah.
So, it's a little bit less. You're going to get a lot more than 4 games.
Yeah.
But it's reliable income for that company. Because some years, 4 games, I didn't like or want to pay for 4 games that came out this year. There weren't that many games that excited me. I only got 1.
Yeah.
Well, now, if you're paying the $15 a month, you're gonna make more money that way as a company. And let's say 10 games come out that you really like. Not a lot of people have $600 to drop on games a year. So even though 10 games might come out, they're not going to buy all 10 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe their budget is 1 every few months.
Yeah.
And so they're only going to buy those 4. So now you give them that subscription cost again. Maybe $15 a month. Maybe it spikes up to 20 at some point. Whatever it is. They'll find the spot that people will remain on, even if they're not like playing a new game that month. Because that's really what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. Is you have to find that price point that people, you know, will continue paying on a monthly basis even if they're not playing a new game.
Yeah.
You know, which is like, okay, for Netflix, if a new show's not coming out this month, you know, that I really want to watch, you know, well, I can just cancel it, but that's too much hassle for $10. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's where you have to find that price point. So yeah, I kind of do think that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
But I also think that just like you can still go buy a Blu-ray for a movie,
yeah.
I think there still will be physical copies available because not everyone will want to sign up for that type of model.
And I agree. I think I love having the Game Pass because, like you said, I am on a certain budget. I can only get so many games a year that I go for. And then on top of that, it's one of those, like, if I only get these games, let's say the other games are either first-person shooters, so they're really good story games, I'm either not going to buy them because I've already seen this ending somewhere, so it's like, oh, spoiled for me, I'm not going to want to buy it.
Right.
Or I have it on Game Pass, and it's like, oh, well, I know the ending, but let me check out the journey. I don't have to pay for it now.
Yep.
So I do like it for that, but then the flip side is, if that game ever leaves Game Pass, which some games do, that game is gone forever for me until I can go buy a physical copy. And by that point, sometimes the physical copies get harder and harder to find depending on how old the game is.
Yep.
So I think, though, this is a good pitch for indie developers too. You know, that, hey, these were 11 guys, maybe women, I don't know all the people that work for them. So 11 people made a game in Sweden. And now it's becoming it rose to number 1 on Xbox Pass. It's raining in money. My God, I can't talk. Bringing in money.
Again, good thing you don't have a podcast.
Not at all. It's bringing in money, and it's like one of those. Xbox 360 was big on indie developers. Xbox One kind of fell away from that, but they were getting back on track. And I think with Game Pass, it's showing they are back on track of helping these indie developers out. So. I don't know. Like I said, it looks like a cool game. I've seen a bunch of previews. I've been watching it, and I just haven't had a chance to play it yet. So hopefully next week, though.
Nice.
I'll be excited. So, you, Mr. Middle-earth.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings.
I got it right. Middle-earth.
It is Middle-earth. You're right. What kind of weapon, do you use in Middle-earth?
A staff.
You are not a wizard.
I didn't say I was a wizard. I just used a staff.
Oh, okay.
Just so I can go.
All right, Donatello.
Exactly. Duh. I mean,
ooh, I'm putting that on the record right now. Donatello is the best Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Exactly.
He just is.
He's right there.
Anyways, we're talking about Lord of the Rings because the Amazon series that has been in the works for a while now actually finished filming, and we have a release date, September of 2022.
Next year.
September 2nd, 2022. So yeah, more than a full year from now is when we're going to get the first of, it's an 8 episodes first season.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sure if it's successful, they'll do more.
Yeah.
Which means, like, if they're done filming now and it's not coming out for another year, man, there is a lot of post-production to be doing on this show. They did shoot in New Zealand, so just like the movies shot in New Zealand, they're using that landscape once again. This is at the beginning of the Second Age. The Lord of the Rings movies that we are familiar with were in the middle to late Third Age. So this is like hundreds of years before is when this TV show is supposed to be coming out.
So we don't have bows and arrows now? We have sticks only?
I feel like it's going to be mostly the same weaponry. We're gonna have swords. We're gonna have bows and arrows.
Upgrade. Got it.
And we'll have maybe some of those characters that kind of live, for a long length of time, like some of our.
Hugo Weavings.
Well, I don't think. Yeah, some of the elves and possibly some of the wizards. But I don't think any of the actors, like this isn't. We're not going to get Ian McKellen back as Gandalf.
Orlando Bloom.
We're not getting Orlando Bloom as Legolas or Hugo Weaving as Elrond. I don't think we're getting any of those actors, but those characters could appear. They have said that we might see some familiar characters. So, anyways, I mean, like. This news is like totally bittersweet because like I'm so excited for this show, and it was like I saw it was like it announced its release date, and I was like, here we go. And it was like September 2022, and I was like, what?
You're like, thanks, guys.
It's more than a year. Like, I feel like the same way I do right now for like the Spider-Man trailer that just keeps not coming. And I'm like,
don't remind me of that.
I'm like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, why is this a year from now? And obviously they want to do it right. They want to, do the post-production and all that stuff. But like, literally a full year of post-production?
Yeah, because I think post-production is usually like 6 to 8 months at most.
It's just like, come on.
So that's that is odd. But I mean, maybe it's because they probably have other shows coming out. They don't.
Yeah, I'm sure they want to find the right release date, time, and
To me though, it's weird. Like, why would you pick? Because September is right when all the other shows for cable TV pick up. You're competing against them.
Well, Amazon. I mean, they have historically kind of released their big series around Labor Day. Like The Boys, I think premiered around Labor Day, and I think. One of their other big shows, I'm trying to remember which one it was. No, not Invincible.
Good show, go see it, guys.
It was good. Jack Ryan.
I remember that one.
Premiered around then. So I think that that's kind of it's a standard release date for them. Yeah. But again, I'm like,
it's weird.
Oh, it's so far away.
Yeah,
I want it.
It'll be interesting. So this is hundreds of years. So what are they fighting about? Is there not even the book about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's some information from like the Talkin estate about this timeline, and like this, we do know that there's evil rising. I mean, like this could be,
really?
Like I don't.
Random.
Your cat's trying to mess with stuff. I'm trying to remember because as much as I know the Lord of the Rings, I don't know most of the other lore around it. So I don't remember when it was that, like, the first battle with Sauron where Isildur cut the ring off his hand. Like, I don't remember. That might have been in the Second Age, or I think that was sometime in the Second Age.
When did they call the rings?
I think that was in. I think the rings were made in the First Age. And then the battle, I think was in the Second Age, but I feel like I'm gonna get all this wrong, so I don't remember all of it. We know they're gonna be fighting some kind of evil. There'll probably be some orcs. Maybe Sauron will be there. Again, we don't know.
Looking for his contact.
No, I'm pretty sure if we see Sauron, it will be like the version of him that is like.
Not just as
a pseudo man, not just like a big tower with him.
That's looking for his contact the whole time.
Okay.
That's why.
Family Guy.
Yes. I loved it. I thought it was funny. I do like the fact that though you're doing this is how you should do a prequel though. Characters that nobody knows about or that are not in the other films, because it's like, are these characters going to live throughout the whole film? Could they die? Because like I've said, that's my problem with prequels. These characters are going to be in other films.
Yep.
But these are characters hundreds of years earlier. The only ones that will be there are elves that we might see, or like you said, some wizards maybe. But otherwise, it's a whole batch of characters that could technically die at the end of the film.
Yep.
So I like that. I like that aspect.
It'll be interesting. Again, I'm super excited for it. I'm just super why is it a year away?
Because they want you to wait.
Speaking of waiting, it's almost here.
Movie.
Our last topic, as we're running out of time. What If is premiering this Wednesday. I'm super excited for the show. And there was confirmation that even though initially we thought there was going to be 10 episodes, an initial 10 episode run, and then 10 more episodes coming at some point later, they had announced kind of a season 1, season 2.
Yeah.
It's actually because they said it was because of some pandemic related stuff that it's actually going to be 9 and 9. So instead of 20, we're going to get 18. But I think they kind of said those episodes that we had to scrap, we're still looking at doing that at a later date. So we're
Season 3.
Hopefully going to do those. And we also know that, they kind of, the time, the length of each episode is going to vary a little bit. They kind of said that, they started with, roughly 30 minutes per episode. Some of them are a little bit shorter. Some of them are a little bit longer. and there were some reactions. Some critics have gotten to see the first 3 episodes, and they've been mostly positive. People saying like that the series is bonkers and crazy, and there's all kinds of weird stuff happening. And I am so excited.
What do you think the first episode's going to be?
I think the first one. So Marvel has their series where they do like Legends on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I haven't watched them, but yeah, I've seen them.
So they always do like a recap preparing you for the next series or whatever it is. Like Black Widow got one, Loki got one,
Yeah.
Falcon got one, like all that stuff. So they put 3 more episodes out this last Wednesday, which were Peggy Carter, the Avengers, and the Ravagers.
Oh, Ravagers, okay.
And so I'm pretty sure that they're going to be in that order. So I think our first episode that we're going to get is going to be the Captain Carter episode where Peggy gets the serum. Then we'll probably get one that deals more with surrounding the events of the first Avengers film, with the battle in New York. And then I think the third one will kind of, hit on a lot of the Ravagers storyline, which would be both of the Guardians movies, and possibly even into, something like Infinity War and Endgame. So I think those are the first 3 episodes that we're going to get, and then we'll kind of see where things go from there. I'm very, excited. Very excited for this show.
I am too. I want to see Utah come out and
Uatu.
Just be himself. And never interfere somehow.
Watch stuff and then totally interfere all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting. So on that note, guys, let us know what you think too, of the What If show coming out, as well as all this other news about video games, Lord of the Rings, and Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. I'm curious about what everybody thinks, and it's really fun. Yeah,
and be sure to go to our YouTube page because we're going to have a review of the Suicide Squad coming out.
Yes.
We're going to have a review of What If as it's coming out. The Ascent show or game, and then Bad Batch is going to be wrapping up pretty soon on Disney Plus. So we did a half season review. Go back and check that out, and we're going to be doing a full season review and talk about that.
Retro review of Halo Reach should be up.
Yep.
If not by the time this is out, sometime right after it.
Basically, there's a lot of stuff, whether it's on there already or it's coming up.
Go check it out.
Definitely check out our YouTube page, official GYGO.
Yes, and go check out our Facebook page as well, official GYGO.